Hey guys, what is up? Today I have a video here talking to you about the Samsung Galaxy S6 Active. Now this phone has been out for over 2 years now, so why am I talking about it now? Well, I actually was able to obtain one of these a few weeks ago, and I've been playing with it, I've been having it, and then I actually started to look on eBay to see the prices of them, and I was surprised how cheap this phone was, and it is still today, even though it has an amazing amount of things to offer. So the S6 Active was the Active Series line, or part of the Active Series line for Samsung, where they take their flagships, the normally S line, and they just make them more ruggedized and waterproof them, and really make them for those people who have the active lifestyle. Now, like I said before, this is the S6 Active, and this one was originally released back in June or July of 2015, somewhere around there, and today it still holds up fairly well. This phone still has an amazing 16 megapixel camera that takes amazing photos and video. It still has that amazing screen, big battery life, which was always a weak point for the S6. And it also brings into the fact that the active part of it, so it's waterproof, it's shock, dust resistant, you can drop it. You can drop it and you won't have to be too worried about anything breaking. It has this really nice raised lip around the screen, so it really protects it against drops. Now, of course, it doesn't have the fingerprint sensor anymore, but it still does. But that really isn't too much of a problem because, honestly, I really didn't use it, and I didn't think it was that good on the S6. But other than that, I think this phone is an absolutely amazing deal because you can actually get these for under $200, even down to $150, even sometimes brand new. And I think for a phone of this caliber and with this much specifications to it and this amazing of a phone, I think that's a great deal. It still has that amazing screen, amazing front-facing camera, amazing rear-facing camera. It still holds up with many of the flagships today. Is it going to exceed them? No, but it is going to hold up with them. And for $150 to $200, I think this is a great deal in any way, shape, or form. Now, this phone has a 5.1-inch Super AMOLED display with the pixel density of 576 pixels per inch, and Corning Gorilla Glass 4. So this still is an amazing display, even to today's standards. Colors are still vibrant, you still get that AMOLED brightness, and you still get that ability to have that AMOLED battery conservation kind. Also, just the fact of the matter is that this processor is still holding up extremely well. It is an octa-core processor, and it still works great. It's the Exynos 7420 octa-core processor, and it still works great. I've been using this for the past couple days. I haven't been doing anything too heavy on it, but I've just been playing around with it, having some fun with it, and it still holds up great. Now, the biggest weak point I see with this phone is this terrible speaker. Now, the speaker isn't the best in any way, shape, or form. It actually is kind of like you really can't hear it. It's not that good, especially in any situation where you're not alone in a room and you can just have no noise around you. If you have any noise around you, you cannot hear this phone. Now, other than that, I think everything else is pretty good. I can't really think of any cons with the phone, except maybe the lack of the fingerprint sensor, but a lot of people don't really care about that. But for the price and what you get, I think this is a great deal, especially now in 2017 that we have these phones that are $700. This phone can compete with them, not exceed them in any way, shape, or form, but compete up against them and still hold its own. And for its price, I think it's still great. You look at the S8 Active right here, not the S8 Active, just the regular S8. They don't appear to be that different, and they're a few generations apart. Yes, one of them has a bigger screen, one of them is completely different, but in everyday uses, most people aren't going to notice too much of a big difference between the two. Especially if you're just someone who doesn't really do anything intensive. You just really get on maybe social media, you watch some videos, you do that kind of thing. You're not going to see a difference between really the two phones. I mean, of course, design-wise, but other than that, I mean, is it really worth an extra $500 to $600 to get an S8 instead of an S6 Active, or even the regular S6, which is still somewhat the same price? I just definitely recommend this one better, just because of their bigger battery, their more ruggedization, their waterproofing. I just think that all that working in tandem together makes this phone a really amazing deal, and is able to offer a flagship level phone for someone who doesn't want to pay that much of a price. So yeah. like I said, everything on here is still up to par with what today's standards. The battery still holds up well. This camera is still phenomenal. Speakers is pretty darn terrible. And this rugged look, I'm kind of a fan of it. It just gives it that more of the rugged, not too much, not too glass, not too precious kind of thing. And I really like that. I also like these big buttons. These big buttons allow you to use this while you have gloves on, or use this when it's underwater, so you can have some sort of control. And also, I even forgot to mention the active key. The active key is this button that you have access to, that when you can program it to do basically anything. You can program it to open up any app. And when, for example, I have it here to open up YouTube Music, or if I hold it, it'll open up YouTube. So yeah, I think this phone is an amazing deal. It's a really great phone, and I would recommend it to anyone who's looking for any sort of flagship level phone without paying that flagship level price. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.